Welcome back to Dolphins United, the platform for Dolphins. You heard me. We are back after a long hiatus, and you know what that means. Forget what time it is. You know what that means. Training camp is upon us. The long wait is finally about over. What it also means is that I'm back, okay? Took me a little hiatus, wanted to get away, gather my thoughts, chill. You know what I'm saying? I got other things that I'm doing, so focus on those things before I get right back in the grind, all right? And now you see that this is the first video in a long time. Understand that your boy's back, all right? We back in the grind. It's Dolphins all the time, all right? We dropping video after video after video. You're going to get sick of seeing me on YouTube. It's about to get real. I promise you that. I ain't going nowhere, all right? I promise. All right? I'm not going anywhere. You're going to see videos every week from here all the way to the Super Bowl, all right? Our Super Bowl in Phoenix, all right? It's going to be us there. All right, anyway, and I'm kind of kidding. But anyway, hope y'all have enjoyed your time off from having to see my ugly mug. All right, well, and I kid when I say I'm ugly because I don't think I'm ugly. You know what I'm saying? Now, other people, y'all might think I'm ugly, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still married to a beautiful one. So it don't even matter to me. All right, it don't. And you're supposed to marry up anyway, so it is what it is, all right? If you've seen it, then you know. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into the offensive breakdown, preview of the offense going into training camp. Now, the rookies do report on the 19th, and I think I should have looked that up, but going off of picture memory, which can be fuzzy sometimes, I think we report either on the 27th or the 25th. The 25th or the 27th, something like that. But either way, 25th or 27th, we going to be in there with the veterans, but the rookies do report on the 19th. So I want to make sure I drop these videos before the 19th, all right, so we can get an idea of what it's going to be looking like and, you know, who needs to stand out from certain positions, and we'll just get into it, all right? We're going to get into it right now. We're going to start with the offense. In the next video, I'll break down the defense. And then we got some good videos coming up, all right? Namely, this is a video that you need to look for in the future. How the Dolphins made the playoffs. How the Dolphins made the playoffs the last two times they made it, 2008, 2016. What was their formula? Can it be replicated? I got a video about that. I've done some digging, got the numbers together. The video's ready to go. But I'm just not ready to put that kind of video out because training camp's about to start. And I want to see what things look like. And if we have a chance of making the playoffs, then maybe I could put out that kind of video, you know, and get people's hopes up and seeing. Because, I believe in numbers. They don't tell the full story, but they do tell some of the story, especially in how a team, you know, is able to succeed, all right? Usually they can replicate that success to some way, all right? And that's why I went to go find out. I went to see if, you know, if there was some similarities in the 08 and the 16 team, and there are some glaring similarities. And if we replicate those things, and of course not have too many injuries, we should be able to get back into the playoffs. But anyway, all right, if you hear some noise, sorry about that. I stay in an apartment. Thin windows. All right, so let's get right into it. We're going to start. We'll start with the quarterbacks. What does it matter, right? We'll start with the quarterbacks. All right, so we have Tua, Teddy, and Thompson. Skylar. All right. When it comes to the quarterbacks, we already know what it is. There's not really any competition here for the most part. We know. Tua's the starter. All right, he's got two backups. Really, it's Teddy, the backup, and then you got a project guy in Skylar. But Skylar has a chance to prove himself, and maybe he proves himself, and they don't need Teddy anymore, and then they get rid of that $5 to $6 million they're paying them. They can allocate that somewhere else. We don't know. Time will tell. He'll get a chance to prove himself. All right, I know that. although he might not get a chance to compete for the starting position, if he makes enough plays at backup and he looks better than Teddy, I'm sure they'll give him a shot to be the backup quarterback. All right, and if Tua goes down, he'll get his chance to say, hey, look at me. I can actually do this. I know I'm a 7th round draft pick. Maybe you got yourself the next Tom Brady. All right, that's what he would be saying. All right, that's what he would be saying. That's not what I'm saying. He would be saying, maybe you got yourself the next Tom Brady in me. All right, because Tua's down and I'm carrying the load and I'm doing my thing. We'll see what happens. Out of Teddy, I'm not really looking for too much. I want to see what I saw from Brissett in practice last year, where he looked pretty good. He didn't look too different than Tua. Like they pretty much were on the same par. All right. Now some people will think that's a bad thing. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. All right, because I want my backup quarterback to be about as good as my starter if they're both good. All right. I don't want them to be about as good and they both trash. You know what I'm saying? That don't work for me. But if they're both good and they're pushing each other, I don't have no problem with that, because competition breeds excellence. Anyway, I want him to do his thing out there, not be throwing so many picks, and to help Tua progress forward. All right, that's what he's there to do. In Tua, we need to see. I was about to say something, but I think that it would be a little inappropriate. And although I'm not the most politically correct person, I'll choose not to say it. Actually, I will say it in another way. We need to see some things drop. All right, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like we need to see him become a man. All right, we need to see, and that's the best way I'm gonna put it. All right, we just need to see Tua take the team over. Like, yo, this is my team. I'm doing this, and become that starter on his way to being a franchise quarterback. All right, like we want to just look at him and say, okay, that is the starter of the Miami Dolphins. Not, no. When you look at him, all right, that's our guy. All right, he might not be a franchise quarterback yet, but he well on his way. That's what we need to see from Tua out the gate. All right, and out the gate. We don't need to wait 2-3 weeks for him to warm up. Out the gate, first couple practices, especially when the pads come on, we need to see that business. We need to see him not having balls on the ground, moving the offense. He's going to have picks, guys. All right, he's going to have picks. He's going to have pick sixes. He's going to take sacks. These things are going to happen because you're in practice, and people are going to fail. All right, the offensive line's going to fail. Wide receivers might not have great communication at times with Tua. Things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. I want to see how he responds, but I also want to see more good than bad. All right, and early on, I expect a lot of bad, but I want to see that get better over the course of weeks, and I also want to see Tua not have as bad as he did last year. Okay, and I definitely want to see a lot of deep ball passing. That's what I'm expecting from Tua, but there's not a competition there. All right, now this video, if you want to move throughout, that's cool. It is going to be a little bit long because we're going every position on the offense. All right, we're going through every last position, and I got to call out all the names. All right, running backs. All right, and I might have sleeper picks that I feel like could make the roster. Maybe I'll save that. I might save that for another video. Anyway, running backs. We have Edmonds. We have Moister. We have Michelle. We have Gaskin. We have Ahmed. We have Dokes. We have White. Okay. So now, when it comes to the running backs, I don't think more than 4 are going to make the roster. That's just my belief. All right. I don't think they're going to have more than 4. So it's going to be tough. All right. This is a tough room. This is a very competitive room. We do not have a quote unquote starter yet. All right. Now, no matter how you look at it, it's going to be running back by committee. We're not going to have a bell cow. There's no bell cow. Okay. There's no guy that's going to be on the field. There's no Saquon Barkley. Okay. That's not here. So the 2 I picture making it off rip: Chase, Mostert. All right. Michelle, Right? And I should know that because he's Haitian. It's only Michelle's Haitian. And I'm Haitian, so I should know that. Michelle, Gaskin, Ahmed, Dokes, White, they're fighting for 2 spots. Plain and simple. All right, and special teams are going to make a push for that. All right, maybe that last spot. Special teams is going to make a push for that. Michelle has the upper hand on the other guys because, 1, they signed him to play in this zone. 2, he's a bigger back. All right, you're going to need him. You're going to need a bigger back. White has looked good with no pads. All right, so when the pads come on, if he's playing well, he might be a guy that can sneak in there. That means you would have Gaskin, Ahmed, Dokes on the outside looking in. I don't think that they're going to hold more than 4. If some of these guys, maybe a Dokes or a White or a Gaskin, outplay everybody else, I still see Edmonds making it. They might have to cut Mostert and keep some of those other guys. It's going to be a very competitive room. All right, I know White was doing his thing in OTAs and minicamp, but there was no pads. Okay, we need to see hits after contact. Yards after contact. Well, I say that, but then they don't really tackle to the ground. They're still like hugging guys, and that's the tackle. So we're not going to really see yards after contact until preseason games start. So that's probably when we'll find out really what the running game is really about. Not in practice, but in actual preseason games, because they're not allowed to tackle to the ground because they're trying to preserve the players for injury, which I fully understand. But you want to see them make the cutback, take the cutback lanes that are there. You want to see them run through the right lanes. You want to see them not hesitate. You also want to see them pick up blitzing linebackers, things like that, and catching the ball out of the backfield and making people miss. You want to see all that, all right? If they could do all that, they'll move themselves up the roster and then, or I should say the depth chart, and then make a case to be either one of the starters or to be the number 1 guy. All right. Now, I do believe, once again, Chase and Mostert are pretty much set. I know Mostert's injured. I know he probably won't be back until like week 1. So there's going to be a lot of guys, Dokes, Ahmed, Gaskin, Michelle. They all have a chance to really get more reps because those handoffs to Mostert are not going to be there unless, he comes back before time, which I know he's pretty much back to form. All right, when it comes to fullback, we already know we're keeping a fullback. That's a guarantee. So now you have Alec Ingold, and then you have Lovett. Ingold's making the squad. Now, Lovett has an outside chance of making the team, especially if he can really catch and get moved to tight end, or he's a beast on special teams. They have to keep him, and there's a casualty somewhere else, all right? Because if you keep a guy like Lovett as a backup fullback, the guaranteed another position is going to lack somewhere. All right? That's a luxury at that point. Unless he's a beast special teamer, we know Ingold, barring injury, is going to be the guy. You can pin that. You can Sharpie that bad boy, that permanent marker that bad boy in, all right? Wide receivers. You got Tyreek Hill. You got Jalen Waddle. Those are shoe-ins. We'll need to talk about them. Then you got Wilson, Ezukama, Bowden, however you want to say that, Sherfield, Williams, Core, Kraft, Dedman, and Sanders. Out of everybody I said, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Wilson, they're on the team. Those 3 are on the team. Everybody else is fighting for a position. Every last one of those guys are going to be fighting for a position. My dark horse here is going to be Lynn Bowden, and I'm going to tell you why. Lynn Bowden has the most, besides Waddle, the most reps with Tua, period, okay? He has the most rapport with Tua, besides Waddle, the most reps with Tua, And Tua believes in him. If they give him a chance to show his stuff and he can do more than just catch the ball, meaning he can run it out of the backfield, things like that, and shows his worth, he's making the team. He's also going to have to do a little bit on special teams. All right, so hopefully he can tackle a little bit and be that that guy that, can gun and do the things that we lost in Hollins, okay? If he could be our Hollins moving forward, which is going to be tough. It's a hard ask, all right? But that's what he's going to want to focus on, is focus on the things that Mac Hollins was doing, do those same things, you make the team, and then also show us what you showed us 2 years ago where you were just carving up defenses because they couldn't get their hands on you the few times that you were in there. All right, so that's my dark horse. Now, I believe they'll hold like 6 wide receivers. So you have your top 3 with Wilson included. Then Ezukama, he's pretty much on the team, you could think. So that's a good 4. And then you got 2 guys that end up making the squad. And we'll see how that goes, all right? That's a room full of competition. I can't wait to see how it shakes out. Moving on, we got tight ends. We got Gesicki, we got Smythe, we have Shaheen, we have Long, we have Carter, we have Connor. Now, when it comes to this, Gesicki, we already know he's on the team. Maybe they could trade him. But if they were to trade him, that means Hunter Long panned out, okay? If they trade Gesicki, Hunter Long definitely panned out. He panned out in the best way possible. That means they can move off Gesicki because Hunter Long finally has arrived. I'm cool with that, all right? I believe they keep 3 to 4 of these guys. With a fullback, it kind of makes it a little harder to keep 4, to be honest, because it's easier to keep 4 when you don't have a fullback on the team like we didn't last year. Or they kind of did with Carter playing that role. But this time they actually have an actual fullback, so it kind of takes away from tight ends, you would think. So Gesicki's making the team. Smythe's probably making the team. That leaves 1 more spot. You're looking at Shaheen, Long, Carter, or Connor, and I would pick Long. Shaheen is okay. I'd rather Smythe, okay? Smythe is my guy. I like him, to be honest. Some people say, oh, he's not that good. To me, he's a real tight end. He blocks and he sheds tackles. All right, go look at the tape last year. The man was hard to bring down. He got a few third downs just off sheer will and power. That's a real tight end. A real tight end, it should take more than 1 guy to bring you down. All right, now is he the fastest guy? No, but he's a reliable guy. Although he ran some wrong routes and Tua got intercepted because of it. But that's besides the point. Hopefully they can shore that up, get that fixed. I believe he makes the team, and I want to see Hunter Long make the team. He doesn't necessarily have to be better than those 2 guys, Gesicki and Durham, but I need to see a little bit better from him this year. I need to see him arrive and to help us, okay? If we keep 4, I think Carter would be the guy, in my opinion. Shaheen, he looks like he's going to be the odd guy out. And, it just is what it is there. All right, we're on to the offensive line, and then this video will come to a close. When it comes to the offensive line, at left tackle, now I'm reading this off of CBS, and you never know. Things could get switched around, all right? But I'm just going to read it how they have it, kind of. We have Armstead, we have K. Smith, and then we have Deech, I believe, or Deesh, or something like that, all right? You might be able to put Coleman there too, or Little, but who knows, all right? When it comes to left tackle, we already know Armstead's the guy. Now, whoever's going to back him up, they're going to keep 8 or 9 of these guys, so whoever's going to back him up will probably be able to play right tackle as well. And it's honestly, it's anybody's job to have at backup there. When we go to left guard, we have Eichenberg, and then we have Kinley. Eichenberg hopefully can hold that spot down. I don't think Kinley's going to make the team, to be honest, because if he does not come in the shape he needs to come in, now, you know how it works, all right? Here's how training camp works for those that don't know. You come in and you do a physical, all right? This physical is to see what kind of shape you kept yourself in while you were not practicing, okay? So you come in, you do this physical. If you can't pass the physical because you're overweight, and there's an endurance test in this physical, by the way, you go on the physically unable to perform list, the PUP. Now, if Kinley ends up on the physically unable to perform list, his behind is probably going to be on his way out, all right? Because if he can't control his weight in a zone blocking scheme, you don't need him. So I don't think he's even going to be in the competition, in my personal opinion, unless he, unless he drops significant weight. Something I need to do. But we'll see. Okay, we'll see. I believe Eichenberg is going to hold that spot down. If not him, then, of course, somebody else will step up and step into that spot. Maybe Dieter. You never know. Dieter might get moved over because he's not going to get the center job. All right, so he might get moved over, which we're going to go to center right now. Well, you got Dieter, and then you have Banwart. I hope I'm saying these names right, but, forgive me. I do believe that Connor Williams or Banwart. Connor Williams is going to hold that spot down, in my opinion. They might give Dieter an outside chance to get it, but I believe Connor's going to hold that spot down, and I believe Dieter is going to be going at it with Robert Hunt and Jones for that right guard spot, all right? And I believe Hunt is going to hold that spot down. So if we have our offensive line, the way I'm thinking, we got Armstead, we have Eichenberg, we have Connor, we have Hunt, and then you look at a guy like possibly Jackson at tackle, right tackle. You have a guy like Little, you have Coleman, you have Jones, all fighting out for that position at right tackle to see who's going to hold that spot down. And maybe, just maybe, if Jackson can't hold that down, but he can hold the right guard spot down, then maybe you can kick Hunt to the other side of left guard, and then he could play left guard instead of Eichenberg, and Eichenberg could be the backup right tackle. You just never know. All right, you never know. Anything can happen. It's training camp. They're going to play a lot of these guys at different positions and at different spots, going against different defenses, first team, second team, third team, to see how they handle it, to see who can take the pressure, to see who can block that blind side, because that blind side is the side that we need to worry about the absolute most. We know Tua's front side is going to be handled. The back side, the blind side needs to be handled. And once again, defenses are smart. They're really smart. All right, so don't expect them to always, let's say, J.J. Watt plays on the inside. T.J. Watt plays on that side. Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones he rushes from both sides, really, but he rushes from mainly the right side on the defense and going against the left tackle. If we were to play them, guess where they're moving Chandler Jones to? They're moving him over there to the left end spot because they already know Armstead, he's going to hold that down. They need to test that other guy because whoever that is, he ain't Armstead. We need to make sure we fortify that side because they're going to test that side, all right? And especially against the blitz, we were horrible when it comes to picking up blitzes last year. When they came to having a conversation about who got who, we were bad at that. If I saw it on tape, they see it on tape. They're going to try to exploit that. We need to make sure whoever's on that side, one, can communicate, Two can hold down that position because, my goodness, we don't need them problems on Tua's backside. That's how Tua ended up out of that Buffalo game, because he got cracked. All right, that's all I have for you when it comes to the offensive preview. I will be announcing something in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Fins up till we die. Get ready, guys. Christmas is around the corner. I'll holler at y'all.